Most people check under their bed for monsters, but I had to check my motherboard. My own mother didn't just look through my text messages, she systematically cloned my digital identity to police my thoughts. It started small. A casual question about a text message I'd received only minutes prior. A sudden awareness of who I was sitting with at lunch, even though I hadn't posted a single picture. I assumed it was just standard parental intuition. I was wrong. The turning point arrived during my senior year in Ohio. My circle of friends suddenly went completely ice cold. No one invite me to the weekend bonfires. Group chats would suddenly dissolve the second I joined them. Finally, my friend Marcus cornered me by my locker. He looked incredibly uncomfortable. He handed me his phone, displaying a text conversation from my number. Except, I hadn't typed a single word of it. It was my mother, perfectly mimicking my slang, interrogating him about his older brother's personal life. She hadn't just installed a basic tracking app, she had fully mirrored my device onto an old tablet she kept hidden in her sewing room. She was living a double life through my screen. Every private joke, every late-night vent session, every mundane thought I shared with my friends was being screened, analyzed, and occasionally intercepted by a 54-year-old woman sitting in the dark downstairs. I felt completely naked in my own skin. My social life was dead, and my reputation was completely ruined. I knew confronting her wouldn't work. She'd just play the victim, cry about how dangerous the world is, and find a more sophisticated way to hide her digital spying. I needed to make her realize exactly how deep her obsession had become. I needed to use her own surveillance against her. I spent 3 days quietly building a completely fictional narrative inside my notes app and draft folders, knowing she read my drafts every single night. I created a fake problem. I typed out a long, agonizing, fictional unsent message to an imaginary friend, detailing a massive, highly illegal street racing event happening at an abandoned industrial warehouse on the far edge of the county line. I made sure to include specific details, the exact midnight timestamp, a hidden stash of cash, and a false sense of immense panic. I wrote it like a kid who was completely trapped and in over his head. Then, I went to bed at 10 o'clock and waited. The silence of our house always magnified every little sound. At exactly 11:45, I heard the floorboards in the hallway groan. Then came the soft, distinct click of the kitchen cabinets where she kept the car keys. A moment later, the distant, muffled rumble of her SUV pulling out of the driveway without its headlights on echoed through my bedroom window. She had taken the bait completely. I walked downstairs, sat on the living room couch in the pitch black, and waited with my dad's iPad. I had set up a basic, free tracking link tied to the fake address I dropped in the notes. By 1 in the morning, the house phone rang. It was the county sheriff's department. My mother had been detained after attempting to breach the security gates of an active, heavily guarded government facility. She had cut through a chain link fence, screaming that her son was trapped inside a criminal ring. When the deputies asked for proof, she frantically pulled up my cloned notes app, only to find the note had been completely deleted and replaced with a single sentence. "Mom, please look up." My dad had to drive out to the station in his slippers to bail her out. The ride back was completely silent. When she walked through the front door, looking utterly disheveled and broken, she didn't find a helpless kid. She found me and my dad sitting at the kitchen table with her tablet sitting right between us. Seeing her face go pale as she realized her entire surveillance empire had crumbled in front of her husband was the most liberating moment of my life. Dad didn't yell. He just calmly confiscated her devices and told her she was starting therapy on Monday or he was filing for divorce. The surveillance stopped that night. I finally got my privacy back, but the ghost of that glowing screen still makes me check my settings every single morning.